things will be made this way. One day, all things will be made this way. It's not just say big enough. Don't think me a joke, cannot think me a bluff. You get bent and you get rough, and we won't stop until you find it bad enough. The Terminator, sharper than the teeth of alligator. The Terminator, the dancer than the burial creator. The Terminator.
All right, what's good, everybody? This is Chaos here. Welcome again to another stream. And tonight, probably gonna be a little serious tonight. And the reason why I'm saying this, because to be honest with y'all, I'm very disappointed. And a lot of people ain't gonna like this broadcast. That's their opinion. But to be fair, when we talk about a good portion of the population, especially when it comes to the women and yes, the men, I'm sadly to say that when they say that 2/3 are shaft and they're no good to the rest of the population of African people, Black people, is a real understatement and truth into this. But before I go into this discussion, how you doing, bro? Let me leave my links for those who want to, support the channel. And another thing, for those who have not heard this channel or know of Chaos Rain, don't be hesitant and subscribe to the channel. Like always, there are 3 options. Once you click that subscribe button, the notification bell tells how often you get notifications when I go live or when I put upload on my channel. So like always, pick wisely on the 3 options on how often you want to know when I'm on the air. Another thing, I also have Twitter. So if you don't mind, you can follow me also on Twitter at ChaosReign7 on Twitter. Also, in the coming days, I will start dropping more of, if I haven't really dropped on my previous videos, the link to the podcast on various sites from Apple and other forms of audio recordings will be also there. So be on the lookout. I think I already have done that for the previous streams and uploads. I have put the link to people could find some of these broadcasts. Not all of them is up there, but slowly but surely I will be putting every one of these broadcasts that I've deemed worthy to be up on podcasts. For those who are not familiar with YouTube or don't like watching or hearing these audios on YouTube, no worries. The full recordings will be also on podcast as well. Oh, so all links are there. So let me see if I send that. There we go. And also let me put my Twitter as well. There we go. So the link's there. I'll show this here briefly. Okay. So let me go back to some of my videos. I'm just going to go back. Okay. And I'm probably going to be flipping around between certain images so I can see this properly. Hold on. Okay, so let me go to my page, and then we'll get started. For those that's watching, I don't mind if you could kindly share the live stream. Obviously I did not know I got a notification that I'm going live, so when we put certain topics, it seems to me YouTube is not going to let you know that I'm live. But listen, it comes with the territory, people. So don't be ashamed about it, I embrace this, I love this. You feel me? So it is what it is. Okay. All right, good. Okay. So I guess I could start. Let me flip back and forth. Now, the reason why I'm saying this, and yes, I'm going to be mean, but we need to be very much serious with a lot of things. I feel we're not serious enough to be honest, but honest. And the reason why I'm saying is because I've noticed a trend here when it comes to when direction what we should do more as people, what Black men should be doing, what Black women should be doing as well. I'm being honest with y'all, we're not really serious. And the times that, and you notice I be on various panels on here, and I come across even people that's in the chat room that's 9/10 of the time faceless and could potentially be trolls as well. Because remember, people think that every person that's on these streams that's in the chat rooms that's Black or quote unquote labeled as Black. But overall, if you follow the rhetoric and the language and the words they put in these chat rooms, it seems to me it's painting a different narrative and saying otherwise. Yeah, saying otherwise. And I have concluded, and this is just me now, that when you're doing these streams and you're sitting there investing time looking and finding out what people are saying, not what they're doing, but they're saying, you could obviously conclude that majority of people that's on here, that's in the chat room, could be a mixture between a few Black people and a whole bunch of non-Black people. And I could say this comfortably, to keep it real, because really truly, when we talk about seriousness and people looking for a tangible solution or what better direction to take it, people are not prim to some of the message or dissertations that a lot of brothers are laying out here to help better empower a lot of black brothers, and including the sisters too. But we're gonna say, for the sake of conversation, we're gonna talk about us as men. They're not serious, and really, and to be honest, I don't think they were gonna be serious anyway. To see, to me, when a man like my good friend Mr. Gray, Max, Charles Faulkner, um, Emma's only throwing these names. Hello, hold on a second. 1 second, people. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I had to take that. Yeah, the seriousness in the times. I find a lot, well, not a lot, just the fools that have no face, and even if they have an avatar and stuff, right there it's questionable already. As y'all know, this is another brother speaking on here, and I'd be around actually men that have sense and competent, and it's something that can grow and learn, not only event but to grow and learn personally, not only in my life but just to air out the issues we men face, and possibly certain steps we could take to better ourselves. To be fair, and when I come across a few youths, and y'all will know maybe what I'm talking about. If not, I'm not going to mention these names because I feel it doesn't hold value into this discussion. Honestly, it's also the state they're in, not mentally, but the physical state they're in. Like, really, truly, when we talk about other black men that's, let's say, under the age of 35, and depending what they're doing right now, are they being competent? Are they being constructive? Are they better in mind besides bettering how to ways to make money or better employment? I question this. I question this now more than ever because there's no way in hell you can come into other spaces where men are not only talking the talk, but they're doing pretty much more walking than they're talking. What I mean by this? Simple. A lot of these males, when they come into these spaces where black men congregate, and not only talk about the problems, but they give a sensible, tangible solution that any person could follow. As y'all know, I don't really put the Gray Faulkner Initiative as a description after every video. And now I'm thinking about it, I should. But from the rhetoric from a few of these males that come to these spaces where men are dealing with solutions, and let me tell y'all this: Charles Faulkner Jr. Cerulean Gray, Maximus, and any other black man, the age they're in, they don't tolerate foolishness. And also, let me forget, Mary Brown too. These men not only have sense, but they're competent and they're on a mission and goal where they're taking a sense of action. For you youngsters that's under the age of 35, and there are many of y'all right now that watch this replay, listen to my voice, listen good. If you're going to entertain any space where other men are doing some constructive things and you have nothing to show for or not doing anything close to that, I advise you stay away from these fucking spaces. I repeat that again. If you're not doing nothing constructive with your life right now, and you like to sit there, watch channels, watch videos on YouTube of other content creators, and just feel that you want to love or romanticize them, but not learn a goddamn thing, you need to get your life more. I would tell you personally to delete the app, go find the nearest bookstore. Hell, matter of fact, go to Amazon and start pulling out a full books right now to start getting your life together. You might have to start reading again. Hell, you might have to start putting more hours and doing more work. If you're working on a little subpar job, you might do some more work, more hours into that work. And if you have kids and you're not putting no time into your boys or girls, I advise you start to do that too. Do not come on here at all. And then you asking for solutions and you bitch and you complain like why you have to do this, why you have to do that. If you had to bitch complain about the little simple solutions that instead of doing something much more so-called where you have to do more physicality, like serious physicality, don't come on these spaces. I would tell you personally, if you're a man, like I'll tell you straight up, maybe you better off just going home and watching the porn and beach meat, because this is not for you. This is not for you. This is not for you. And another thing, I will say this, and I know people are gonna hate me for this. A lot of black men need to put down the fucking drugs. What I mean by this, a lot of black men need to stop smoking the fucking weed. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it. A lot of people not gonna like this. They're gonna hate me. They're gonna cuss me. I don't give a fuck about this. I know weed right now, by the end of this year, it's gonna be legal in all the rest of the remaining states. And I don't know how much damage it's gonna do to the black community once that shit's completely legal. Because more times, the majority of the brothers out here, that if you're not handling your business, and really, when I mean handling your business, you're handling your damn business, you have too much leisure time to be smoking your life away. Like literally, smoking your life away. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of people not gonna like it. The more you smoke that shit, it's gonna make you dunce, dumb, idiot, stupid. There's no way in hell you could be a grown so-called adult and can't manage how to operate an electronic device, what we call a smartphone. You can't be adult and depending if you're paying for your own service, you got the subpar service where you don't got the money income to buy yourself a laptop. And mind you, we live in a digital technical age today. Laptops are not expensive today. Last my check. You can afford it. But last time I forget, if you're not productive as a man, like work or doing something better in your mind, getting better money, whatever you want we call it, this message will not suit you. Because I can tell how most of these boys right now that live their life and how they sit there, glamorize their favorite YouTubers and watch them all day. And I know it's not just the men, but they watch a lot of these women and they still fantasize and lust over the female YouTubers. Like they're gonna one day come out of that phone screen or that laptop screen and just bust it wide open on their little dusty ass. It's shameful. This is very shameful. To sit here, you as a man, you're not productive, and you sit there, you best time all day watching these people, and you have not learned a motherfucking thing. And imagine that. Imagine that. It's sickening. And and people, I can raise my damn voice on here. And sometimes it makes me, I just sit back and look at myself when I sit to have to scream and raise my voice over niggas that just don't fucking get it. It makes me wonder why my brothers put up with these motherfuckers every day. It makes me wonder, to be honest with you, it makes me really wonder why they do it. I don't have the patience for it, to be honest with y'all. Wait, who's this? I mean, I just don't have the patience for it. And I know Cerulean and Charles and other brothers that be doing these streams, they could deal with some of these young brothers. Me, I cannot. If you show that you have no competence and you're not willing to understand the simple instructions, you damn sure not willing to seek the solution. And telling you about the solution, in my mind, is a waste of time. It's pointless. Because you're going to sit there and bitch about it and complain about it. You can't be on here in these spaces asking how you hate about the system, complain about this, that they on your back and stuff, and the men that's up there giving you some tangible solution you could do right now. And you would to, and when we give you the simple way by just going through this document, get an understand, get a feel, depending where you are in your situation. This will help you further along your progression. It's not a complete answer to the problem, but it'll further like your progression. If you find a man on that and tell us you're not willing to read the thing, and to be honest with you, since we talking about reading, the American school system really fucked up a lot of black men in this country. It's shameful. One of the things we don't do well, we don't write good enough now. Hell, I'm surprised some of them even could read a full sentence or understand what they're reading. Or make an attempt just to pick a book and try to read it. I don't know if we do that enough anymore. I question it. This American school system really fucked up a lot of black people. And I'm not gonna blame. Well, I can't always pressure the women so much on here, but to really honest with you, what can they really do? What can they really do? I mean, what we have today, we have a lot of derelict Negroes out here that's not willing to take no responsibility for nothing. They're not willing to improve the quality of their minds and what they do in life. And these are our futures right now that a good portion of black men want to invest time to try to straighten up. And I would tell the black men seriously, don't waste your time. You better off getting these children that's before they touch teenager, better chance than some of these Negroes that's over the age of 25. Or matter of fact, better yet, over the age of 23. After that, if you're in a certain state of mind, I don't want to do with you. I'll just leave you to the dogs, to the wolves. That's it. That's it. Why bother? Why waste time? And it makes me wonder the states that they live in, whether it's North Carolina, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, or anywhere further down the East Coast. I question the intelligence of a lot of black men. I question it. And I have the right to question it. Because when they come up on these panels and the way they talk, Is there two things that comes to mind? Are you on that reefer or you on that cheap ass alcohol? It's one or the other. You come on here high as fuck, stupid as fuck, and then you sit there trying to rationally have conversations with men that have their head intact. And I couldn't do it. Not me. I wouldn't waste my time to do that shit. I could tell by the energy you come on here that you ain't about shit. And you ain't worth shit. And especially in that state. That state in I think was it North Carolina? I question that fucking state. I question it. If there's any common sense people down there in North Carolina. Because look, that state alone is like the majority of those men up are breeding up the place and not take care of a goddamn children, which create more problematic in the community, which the next man has to deal with. I question this, man, and the seriousness of our people. I tell you, man, I didn't even want to really have this discussion, but it has to be aired out. Because I say, what's the point? What's really the point? Because like my good friend Cerulean Gray said, 2/3 are shaft. And I have to agree on this. Some of these dudes are not getting better. It's like time progressed and they getting dumber and dumber. Matter of fact, let me tell you that. They're willing to step to be more dumb and dumber because you can't be dumb as time progresses. You have to will yourself, you have to make a conscious effort to be dumb. And you can't afford to be dumb in the 21st century, especially living here in the West we call America. It will not be allowed no more. They know what to do it with dumb niggas. They leave you to the wolves, to your destruction. That's what it's going to boil down to. And to find that I feel that there might be some of them could be saved, but the way how they're behaving right now, especially for the last few days, and I've been part of and listened to these dumb Negroes, I feel a good portion can't be saved. Because it's beyond trolling at this point. It's stupidity. Y'all talking about fighting a system. If you want to keep 100, y'all can't operate a simple phone. Hell, some of y'all can't even 9/10 times could read a book or pick up a decent book or follow simple instructions. And really, that's what it's going to be boiled down to. Can you follow instructions? A lot of black men, and I'm going to say a lot until somebody prove wrong, can't follow fucking instructions. Even from the complex to the simple instructions, they don't want to follow that. They want everything given to them, served, just like fast food, where you order and it comes right there within seconds. That's not how shit get fixed around here. You got to put in work, homeboy. Because if you're not willing to put the work, then I advise you, from a brother to another brother, to sit down and shut the fuck up. Matter of fact, I'll tell you, go way over there with that. And come see me once you get your head out your ass and put down that alcohol and put down that fucking reefer, that weed. I think too much of us indulge too much fuckery and nonsense, too much of these little cheap ass drugs out here. And it's not only poisoning your body, but it's poisoning your goddamn mind. You can't even keep still. You can't even think fucking straight. It seemed to me like a lot of these males, once they become so-called adults, and I said so-called, They're seeking validation for women, and they have not put in a goddamn work at all. See, ladies, this is the consequence you face right now in the West. To you and y'all, and mind y'all, let me trick this. For those that this applies to, if you've been fucking these Negroes for too fucking long, and it's been going on for decades now, the result is these Negroes won't act or do better. That's why these dudes that say they watch these streams, these famous ladies on here, they have not learned or grown a fucking thing. That's why if you look at most ladies that do these YouTube videos, it's about money. It's all about the money because what more you look for to try change? You're not going to change on this platform. It don't exist. Whether you're telling them that they need to act right, they need to stop having intercourse with non-black people, or better yet, they need to stop submitting their will to other groups of women and men. It will not work for some of these Negroes. And I tell you why, because their validation is only secure to what you give and allow to them. So if they had to kiss your ass just to make you feel comfortable so that way they might get lucky and get some of those panties, they will do it. But other than that, they're not going to act right. They ain't going to. And you know, speaking on this, since we're going to keep 100, and my brother's right about this. The only time when these niggas really want to act right and get some order, get their shit together, is when pussy's involved. I didn't want to really believe that, but now I'm thinking from what I'm hearing from these same degenerate Negroes that come to these same space where men are congregate and trying to do things, make moves, and also educate, that the only time these Negroes come around and they're willing to straighten up, really, is when they think pussy's going to be the reward. And it's sad, ladies, that I'm not sure if closing your legs will be enough to fix these niggas. I have to sit back. I don't think this is going to fix none of these niggas at all. Because they're not getting a pussy from you. They're going to get it from another chick that's willing to open their fucking legs. Some of these black men are not going to act right at all. Not at all. Now that I'm thinking deep about this shit. So when we talk about fixing the problem, it's really going to be only a small sum. A very small sum. And really, it's sad. It's really depressing. This is depressing, to be honest with you. I don't know what better way to say this. Because, and the funny thing about this, when I tell ladies they gotta choose better, I mean that. You gotta choose better. You have to. There's no other way around it. And the reason why, if you can, why you discern properly, that by giving certain men what they want, they're gonna revert back to their degenerate behavior, their low level behavior. Yes, I know. It's very sad. Yeah. And to be honest with you, my vision with Chaos Rain Channel, I seek a balanced crowd of audience. I don't want too much men and I don't want too much women. I want a ratio where the scales are even, at least. Because, like any person, I try to seek and want a sense of balance. Now, how I go about it is determined by my accords. But at the end of the day, we need balance. And I feel enough of these content creators, and I'm being blunt honest, are not keeping a balance in regards to audience of their people that watches their streams, support their streams, or any sort. Because somebody has to cater to one set of sex. I don't want to cater to either one. I want a ratio of a balance of both. Because if I cater to one side, the other side will be off balance. And we all know the consequence when there is not a balanced scale. What happens? What you'll find. What you'll notice when the scales are unbalanced, chaos exists. And only way to restore that order of chaos, you had to be or bring a greater chaos to restore. So I want people, and I want the males to know this. I'm eventually give y'all a solution. If I gave one already, I'll repeat again. That anything you do, whether you have problems in your life systematically or just generally what you go through life, the only thing you could do as a black male is to always self-improve and seek and find a common ground and a balance for your life. You should not be too consumptualized or overindulge in anything you do. If you're on drugs, if you're smoking weed at this moment, I would tell you stop doing it. Stop it right now. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Put it down. Take the rest of your nickel bags, throw in the garbage. Whatever you want to do it. If you're a drinker, whether you buying cheap alcohol or wherever alcohol you buy, I would tell you stop doing that as well. I would tell most of these men this. You need a cleanse. You might have to do that 30-day cleanse. And I'll do you something better. I'm gonna leave this in the chat room, and I probably will eventually I remind myself. I'll put this in the description or in the comments of this video of a product you must go right now and start your cleansing journey to start cleaning out the few organs out your body. So that way you could start your journey in bettering your health, your spirit, and your mind. I think this is a necessity because we're winding down this so-called year, going on to a brand new decade. I don't want to be coming into a decade, which I'm witnessing right now, and people are still under foolishness. These males, or actually, not better. I don't want to find most of you Negroes. I'm talking to you about you black males. Come in these spaces where men are congregating, doing good things, and bring some attention, like information, and a solution you could take now. You're not gonna come back in these airways to plague it, to what it called, dirty up. Hell, you're not gonna come here and sort of divert the energy, which majority of y'all do. No, I'm not gonna have that. No, we ain't gonna have that. When you come on here on correct. If you have not known certain information, you ask your questions, you get your answers, and you follow through with the solutions. Don't sit there and give no back talk up here, mumbling in your mouth, or do all this nonsense that children do when they want to do what they're supposed to be told. If you're that type of person, I advise don't come to these streams. That's the best thing you could do. That's the most intelligent thing. If you don't have no goddamn sense, you should be doing. Because I'm a man, I can't deal with the foolishness. And they might think this is cute. And I mean, literally, a lot of these males, these degenerate males, think this is cute. Whether you're black or not black, coming in this space, Trust me, it's not cute. It was me, I would have gave you the boot, and you would not come to these streams ever again. If I want to keep it 100, if you're that type of person that wants to do that shit, so we gotta be serious. So that's my solution for now to give. And now, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put the link here for those who want to come up, voice their opinions or whatever. You can now. And as I do that, let me look for my give a call back because somebody reached me a while ago. All right. Okay. So, let me do this. Thank you, Nicole. You see, the reason, Nicole, for all this is I don't mind the conversations, but these conversations, if we're gonna have those little degenerate conversations, it should be kept to very much a minimum, even the times we're in now. I mean, with relationships and things that we should be doing to better ourselves should be more of a higher priority. Now, what I mean by relationships, we all know what's the issue between black man and black woman in relationships. It's blunt clear. We don't like each other. That's just a fact. So because of this self-hatred amongst each other, and we all know where it comes from, and we're not gonna point fingers on it, that's the number one thing we should probably correct for anything else. And I do want to have dialogue on some more stimulating conversations, depending what I know and I could bring to the table in regards to some intellect to this. But majority of these Negroes, if I want to keep 100, want to be entertained. They love fuckery and nonsense. If it's not entertainment or fuckery and nonsense, they're not gonna come to these spaces. Hell, I find it interesting. Why would they even entertain certain spaces my brothers put out here on YouTube? Because these information is supposed to make them think, make them do things, make them be better. I just don't see it. But like I said before, man, that that's something I just want to lay out and just clear up and say from my perspective, because that just got on my mind a little bit, and I think that's very important to let out, let people know, because if we want to really, it's like this: either you want to do better or not. That's a choice. And a lot of these our brothers, these males, these young males that's under 35, from the way how they speak, the way how they carry themselves, and the way how they're acting in front of other black males that have competence and have sense, it's unacceptable. Especially if you are a grown man and you're in your 30s and you act and conduct yourself a certain way, it's telling. That's why there's such a great divide between black males, other black males, and there's also a greater divide between black females and other black females. Because a lot of us not supposed to be the same, act the same, conduct the same, and we should be. But there's one thing that should be common, that when we're having a dialogue, a real dialogue about how we could fix our situation, That's one thing we can come in accords with. There should be no excuse in that. No excuse. All right. But like I said before, man, I just get headaches from this. And really, truly, I did have a specific topic to really talk about, but I think this was more important to really discuss because we got to do better. And even from the few brothers that came on here and want solutions, and then they sit there, fan it off, or don't want to hear about it, even about they have the issues with America. Yeah, America is bad. Hell, we could say it's shitty if we want to keep it real. But you are an American citizen. You got that American passport, if you got one, and you got American birth certificate and that social security card. By definition of law, you are bound American. Anywhere you go across the globe, they will see and look at you as an American person. You can't separate that. Okay, I see. Yeah, yeah. You are an American person. Um, and to be honest with you, I don't really go into too much conversations between people that's born here and people outside America that's black. I don't focus on it. I don't create divides because I'm a person that's saying, black people right now we're not a monolith. Well, actually, no. Let me change that. We don't think we're a monolith, but every other culture and race of people look at us and view us as a monolith. Unfortunately, unfortunately. So, way this divide is going, black people have to figure out how to get around it or squash it altogether. Yeah, you know. Let me check something here. Hmm. So do some looking up. Yeah. So I think I said everything I need to say. Um, and like always, people could support the channel. I put the Cash App here. And one other thing I do want to tell everybody: every video I do ask for people to leave comments. And the reason why I say leave a comment to every stream because I want to know your opinions on the video or things in generally. I know Oasis King. I send the link into the chat room as you can see right now. And the reason why I ask for comments before a like, because a comment goes a long way. Your voice always determine where Chaos Rain will go with everything from the streams, the uploads, the videos, all that stuff. Or just Jerry, you like the video and it made you feel good. Whatever you want to call it, is feedback is very important. It is vital. And I feel that a person that like myself serious doing these videos is I gotta see where everybody's head's at. And you know, by knowing what you respond, it gives me further evidence to know how to move forward with this channel. Because people don't know, say, the best knowing how you're doing is by what people really give their take. And think about this. Why do you think these data analysis or these certain websites or anything in general you click on, they always want to ask you a survey or any form of information about certain questions? Because feedback is important, because everything needs to be improved. Things got to be better. And I don't have all the answers. I wish I did, but like any human being, I'm coming and going, just learning as I go. And usually, when a person leaves a feedback, like a comment, it lets them know that not only you're there, but knows that you took the time and energy to view the material and give your take about a lot of subject matters. And I think I come up with a lot of different subject matters on my channel that that's not being discussed. Like, for example, should the woman give their sons to the father? My good friend Mr. Black did a part two of this broadcast I did a month ago or two. And well, I've concluded from the women, good portion of women, maybe not a lot, but there's too many, are not willing to give their boys to the father that wants to play a role into their children's life. I don't care if they're teenagers or almost reaching adults. If the father wants to play a role in their child's life, you let them. You don't be that type of mother, be disgruntled, and hold your son prisoner to the father. It doesn't serve you no purpose, and it doesn't serve him no purpose as well in his development growth. Children, as they reach a certain age, including women, seek the opposite sex, seek answers, validation from the opposite sex. And it shows that as human beings, we seek balance and wholeness. A lot of people want to get around and say that they think they could do bad all by themselves, or they even proclaim that they are two and one parents. A lot of them don't believe that garbage. Most sons, when they act up and misbehave, because they really want that male energy, that presence of their father to balance out their aggression, including the women, young girls. They seek that same thing too when they looking for that attention and love from the father, because the father is supposed to be that first person, actual figure, male figure, that they'll be around and understand how a man operates and works. When you deprive your children of that other energy, that other principle, you're setting them up for failure. And let me read this comment. I think we command brothers to be upright, but not instead of purposing their youth. Yes, I agree. Oasis King, correct. Yes, this is true. And there was a very good discussion with Max about this thing about mandatory military training, or civil service. I think that's what they call it, or community, or something with service to the community. It's very vital for boys to be in what we call places or industries or spaces that will help exude their masculine energy, to make use of their masculine energy. I think it's very important. It is a necessity for their development to young boys into adult men. And I recommend it. I don't advocate. I recommend, if any woman could find a space where they could trust their sons. Hello? Uh, okay. Yeah, you ready?
Hello?
Yeah, you ready? I'm gonna put you on the line now.
Say it again.
No, you ready now? Oasis King. I'll put put you online right now. I could put you right now on speaker.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to add on to that because I think,
Uh-huh.
you
Oh,
know,
don't worry. It'll come with follow. So let me just open it. Don't worry.
just talk or ask me something, and then I can kind of get in there.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. This is my good friend again, Miss Oasis King. As you see in the chat room, don't be hesitant. You can subscribe. You know what I'm saying? When she starts, doing her thing on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? You're well in position. So don't be hesitant now. But anyway, Oasis, like I was saying before, and depending on how you were listening to the stream, that I get a little frustrated. Is that feedback? Hold on. I don't know if you unmute that on the line. Oh, it's gone. Okay, it's gone. All right. I get frustrated sometimes to the young males that ask for the solutions, like they want something very fast and quick because they said they're oppressed, they're not Americans, they're not this. I mean, I hear it. I understand the frustration, but at the end of the day, I would tell them, say, if you're going to be sitting off your ass and then wait for the other men to do the work and you sitting there complaining and then thinking and throwing shades, then you have no say in the matter of actual solutions, you know? But even the great fault in the plan that my good friend Charles and Cerulean came up with, and the few men that sit there that either heard about or don't know about it, you know what I'm saying? It is evident to show that, and mind you, these are young dudes. They're not even their 30s yet, like late mid 30s yet. To sit there and complain about the oppression and not move on to a direction to at least correct it or do something different, then you have nothing to say. And that was my thing, even the Reddit tonight about all this, because when they come up and they voice their problems, I mean, I see really laziness, you know, because when the man asks them questions, do you do this, do that, and third, and they sit there, play around with the question, don't give a firm answer. Even some of the answers they will probably give an honest, some they just they don't want to say. It's telling and say, you're not serious. You're not seeking no solutions because you're not gonna topple anything that's a big institution, and you could barely get yourself in order. Hell, they don't even know how to operate simple gadgets like a phone, and you ask about you want the solution. I mean, you're not serious, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this was the argument that I was just laid out tonight, and I gave my own sense solution to a lot of these dudes. That's you know, and really it's not really hard, but I will tell them straight up, you got to put in some work. And one thing it is you're going to have to be very disciplined. You might have to go for a cleanse. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know most people think that cleansing either hear about they know it, but I tell you, you just have no idea what I mean by cleanse. It's more than just the inner; it's all.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You can't cleanse the system and then your mind's still fucked up and your spirit's all messed up.
Right.
It don't work like that. You have to start doing different things. Just like, and another thing, since I'm talking about this, I told one particular brother, you're a person that doesn't like to take action. I'll tell you how to correct that. All right, if your health is bad, there are a few things you could do. When you wake up in the morning, you get up. The thing you start doing, you do push-ups. You know,
Yeah.
you try to do at least if you could do 100, like straight with no problem, fine, or whatever. You do that. If you could barely, lift and do close to that, then you need to do reps of 20 at least. You know, and
Right.
I tell them why I do this because it's going to program your mind and your body to start take an action. Because you say you want better health, but that's saying something unless you move it. Cause I hope you walk more than you talk. You hear those things a lot of women talk about, or people talk about.
Right.
So that will start conditioning yourself to start walking more instead of
Yeah.
just saying you're gonna do something. Because even I fall for it too. That so I might say it, I might want to do something, and so I don't do it. So like anything, I had to start just doing it. Wherever it is, just do it. Because if I tell my mind I'm gonna say I'm gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. You know, you box yourself in when you're gonna always keep projecting what you're gonna do. No, you have to actually do it. Because the mind and the body it's not in sync. We think it is, but it's not.
Yep.
Depending on the situation now, it might, but if in regards to doing something that's really tangible that you should be doing, is not there. And I keep it real with you. When niggas want to get organized, it's only when they're gonna get some pussy. Everything else, it's like we speak a different language. It tells you if your mindset, then obviously you're not serious about dealing with nothing, the problems. Because this, I tell you this, I'm gonna lay it out for all y'all. All the enemy has to do is put a Caucasoid woman with between your leg, and she open her legs wide, and that they get you hooked. That's it. That's it.
Right.
That's it. And why I say that, and a lot of people find that's hurtful, and I say, "Oh, what are you talking about her?" I gotta talk about them, you dumb nigga. And if they're not using her, they're gonna probably use a nice little sister to do the same thing to you, because they know see you're prone and programmed to operate just to get coochie. That's a buck mentality. You can't will it out. You can't breed out. You have to deprogram that altogether.
Sure indeed.
A lot of ladies complain about why these men act like bucks. Yeah, because they're programmed to be fucking bucks. What do you expect? That they left during the plantation days is still in black men. I think Amos supposed to talk about discipline with your seed. And it was in his chapter, Definition of Manhood in Black and White, which is another excellent read for every black male to read as well. That book will also introduce you to understand black male adolescence. It's a 2-part book in one. It was an introduction to lead you into the adolescent book, the true introduction. Because if you don't understand what is manhood, everything is waste of time, is lost. That's why when in the presence of actual men, they can't follow simple instruction because you've been programmed to not look at yourself as any value. So you're not gonna listen to other men. Hell, you're not gonna listen to certain women. And there's a lot of women that make videos about the men. I understand it, but it's not doing nothing to them at all because they're programmed to operate like a animal, like a buck. The only time they'll probably take in your message seriously and might do something is when coochie's involved. And this not only goes for these young dudes that's under 35, but it also goes to the adult men. Imagine that, Leonard.
Right.
I mean, you're not gonna do anything unless this woman open her legs. That's a buck.
Maybe not even then.
Probably not even that. Hey, maybe that. Yeah.
I know some women who have paid guys to paint their house, and then they still want some pussy afterwards. So
yeah. And they got money and not
paint the house right.
Yeah. I'll be surprised.
Yeah, but I couldn't agree more with pretty much all of your points.
Yeah.
I think it's I kind of take the tone that a lot of men take with other men when they like, that's that man business, I ain't in that man business in his house or whatever. I do think that that's a wrong tone for other brothers to take. Probably a more appropriate tone for women to take because individual women have enough individual men in their lives to affect change in them without speaking so broadly, to other men's situation. I think that that's something that brothers should be on the blocks with other brothers saying, instead of saying, hey, if he beating her ass and she letting him, that's that man business and she must like it, ain't got nothing to do with that. That's the place for brothers to go to other brothers and say, hey, you looking like, you're
looking bad out here. Why you beating her ass?
Pull it in. But speaking to my own sons, I got 4 sons, and speaking to my old, then they're adults, and speaking to my siblings and my family members. I'll give you, I homeschooled all my children, and one of the required readings for my youngest 2 sons was a book called How to Manage Your Dick.
Oh, they wrote a book on that?
Yeah, it's called How to Manage Your Dick. It's actually a really good book, Rant.
Is it on PDF? Is it? I don't know if you could share it in the chat room, but
I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can share it.
Okay.
But so I think it's easier to raise up a child than it is to change an adult. It's easier to train a child than it is to change an adult. And so I every prophetic book tells us what the title of your stream is saying right now. It says 2/3 of people are not going to make it. It says that the 5%ers have a teaching that 85% of people are dumb, deaf, and blind. Muslims have that teaching. The Christians say 2/3 of the world is going to fall because of sin. So, if you go by prophecy, it says that, or so-called prophecies, whatever. It says that the majority of people are never going to act right. So we can speak the, higher methods of the art of living to people. That doesn't mean that people are necessarily going to grab hold, and that's why, when you attract people who are interested in your message, who have a message that's akin to yours, then we have to learn how to get along, how to vibe well in a group, how to have control over our testosterone and our estrogen in that group, so that we can progress. So I would say that we give brothers a lot of commands, right? Especially when they're older, but rarely do black men have any commands that come with purpose. Some, most with duty, but rarely with purpose. I think that it's a woman's job to tell her male cousins, her male brothers, obviously her brothers, her sons. It's a woman's job to say in a way that's productive what the purpose of a man is to a woman, so that a man can then find his purpose. I think that brothers should have a list of things that, okay, by this age, this is what a male should know how to do. By this age, this is what a man should know how to do. These are the things that men obtain before they go into dating. These are the things that men should obtain and have possession of before they enter into a marriage. A lot of times our relationships don't last because men feel inadequate, they feel less than, they feel less powerful. And then a lot of times brothers have a lot of things that they need, and they don't know how to mentally handle having those things. They don't know how to handle the power that goes with that, simply because, again, the purpose is lost. And I think until, specifically brothers, or in particular brothers, right, that we're talking about right now, until we say to brothers, your DNA is extremely valuable, and the highest road that you can reach is fatherhood, and that's not necessarily your biological children. I know some men not going; they're not going for no children that's not theirs biologically. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine too. And then you got some brothers that want to be polygamous because they want to raise a nation when it's a nation of children waiting to be raised. Yeah. So either way it go, any of those avenues, even to fail, you have to have purpose, right? Like, your purpose was to fail. Like, your purpose was to be nothing, and you accomplished it. So, but we rarely attach success with purpose. We attach it to duty. You're supposed to be a good father, you're supposed to be a provider, you're supposed to be a protector, all of that. But rarely your job is to uplift your people. And you have to uplift the members of your home to uplift your people. If each home is uplifted, then then the race is uplifted, the community is uplifted, and then the nation, and then it just spreads out. And until we give young men, until we raise them with that sense of duty connected to purpose, I think that yes, it's apparent that 2/3 of people are not going to make it. Are 2/3 of people gone now? I haven't done the census on that, but I would. From the looks of it, it looked like it.
The only time I would say in that regards, and the reason why I say 2/3, and I don't really emphasize this heavily on this channel, and the reason why I mention now tonight is because these are continual males that are supposed to be men that should be carrying on from these older men that were derelict or did much, or they have did something enough to carry on, And then next we have the ones that's going to be adults now. Like say your children that's adults, like either over 20 or 25 now. They're the ones that's supposed to carry on whatever is left by other men, or for themselves, for their own legacy, And that's what I'm talking about. That these are the ones. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, I'll say this. I haven't. I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV in over 20 years.
Yeah,
right?
Neither have I. Yeah.
Right, but I watch Black people. Those are my favorite stations. Black people. I just watch Black people. And I'll say this, that there are a great many men who are morally upright. They're just quiet, because they don't even want to get into the rigmarole of everything that's going on, right? And those are the brothers that's needed to change things. It's brothers that come out and talk, and brothers that come out and teach, and brothers that come out and inform. And we're a people where you just got to say things, outright. So I agree. I'm totally not against teaching and talking. But I find that a lot of again, we talked about this. I find a lot of us that have the best teachings show very little of the successes of our teaching. And that's across the board. They say cobbler always children always need shoes. A roof is always leaking. Well, people that's talking always just fucking talking and ain't showing nothing. Yeah. I read the Great Faulkner Initiative. My son is 17, and that's one of his required readings. He has to read the Great Faulkner Initiative.
Has he read it all?
I don't think he's read it all, but we've certainly discussed. We've certainly discussed multiple sections. We had a conversation about whether or not sex, entertainment, and religion were distractions.
Okay.
Yeah, because that in the initiative part 1, it says that. Well, and I think that those are common modalities of living that maybe mainstream society, or I should say white society, they focus on, but they focus on in silent warfare. But those are things that get us to be more familial. Okay. That's just how we function, and you can't throw those to the side. You have to use those. Those are powerful tools, and that's why other cultures use them against us. That's why the Jews run the music, because entertainment is not a distraction. It's important. It's just the way it's used to distract us from important things. And so, as far as young men, I would say this. I would say remember when we were talking one time, and I brought up General Seti, and I'm gonna call him General Seti, but I brought up Sarasuni Seti, and I said that I thought that he had a missed opportunity in trying to direct so many of his words to brothers when it was sisters that he was attracting. And he could have said to sisters, "Hey, this is what you do with your sons. You don't raise them up to, get on here arguing all day with women. You raise them up to be action-oriented." Now, that doesn't mean that he had to be extra action-oriented. He just had to skillfully utilize the ability that he had, or the opportunity that he had to have sisters here. And over the last 10 years, he could have affected a great change in Black mothering to Black male boys, because so many women, were attuned to him. So let's say if you're a young man and you're listening to this, or somebody allows you to listen to this, or you're a mother that has a male son. In 2020, you should write this list out at before the end of the year is over. Your son should master 5 tools. And let's say if he doesn't master one, master 5, he should master 1 and know how to operate 5. These type
you give him a goal. You give him a goal.
Yes, exactly. A goal, and then once it's attained, a young man, even a wayward man, will find something to do with that skill. You know, I've often told you that one of the hindrances of evolution for us in being single mothers is not just being a single mother. It's that you're a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Being a single parent, and so you're afraid to teach the child how to utilize tools, how to use tools. You're afraid of what's going to happen. Your fear kicks in, you know, greater than the father would. So I think, young men and mothers and fathers need to be committed to teaching boys tools. I think that all boys, I've heard brothers lately saying that military enlistment should be mandatory. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I certainly believe that all boys should go to that black men should have a program for all black boys to go to that is akin to Boy Scouts. And I think that it should transition over to a men's scouts that includes military training. There's enough of our military men that are back home to teach that. But the brothers, again, a lot of the brothers that talk don't organize. Your regular, normal black couple that is even remotely intellectual sits around and talks about what would be good for black people and how to evolve black people. But talking about it, you know, isn't going to cut it. And even coming up with plans and writing out. In my 20s, I rewrote the whole Constitution for black people. Yeah, but you know, until you put it into action, until I was listening to a discussion this evening. I'll use this for an example of what I'm saying, how important it is for brothers to organize and to compel other brothers, to inspire other brothers to do exactly what the entertainers are doing, but to just do it in their own field. I was listening to some sisters, and they were saying about how black women holding other black women accountable. And what they're not responsible for other black women, and they can't go and make other black women do anything. Well, not for all black women, but certainly any black woman that you come in contact with, especially if you think she a bust down or a thought or whatever. Especially if you're a man, if you think he's a wayward person or a lost cause or whatever, you should especially seek to inspire them. That's the second mile of service. We all go the first mile, but very few of us go the second mile of love and service to our people. So I'll use this example. When those sisters were saying that, I thought back to a friend that I've had for a long time. All her damn friends is bust downs and thoughts, right?
Wow.
All of them. But when I came around, all those bust down and thoughts started homeschooling. They started gardening. They started, you know, taking their children to museums and stuff. Simply, you know what I'm saying? Because it was in them to do it, but nobody else around them was doing it. And so when I came around, and that's just how I lived and what I did, that inspired those sisters. Now, it didn't change them sexually, but it did change, you know what I'm saying, some aspects of how they reared their children. And this is what I'm saying for women. Yeah, you are responsible for uplifting other black women. If you don't feel that way, you definitely shouldn't be on black intellectual talk programs speaking on black people's evolvement if you don't feel that way. And black men, by the same token, have to have a commitment to inspire other black brothers. If you're saying that military enlistment should be mandatory, then you should have gone to the military. And not only that, but you should be showing brothers your nice house that you got with your VA loan. You should be showing them your bad woman that you pulled in and keep them satisfied up in your house with your VA loan. You should be showing the business that you got. You should be doing everything that we down the celebrities. We down our people for looking at celebrities, but celebrities do inspire.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they have those actual things or not, they put it in front of you and act like they're living their life, and it inspires people to even do it the wrong way just to get there. Mm-hmm. So if you are going a second mile in love and service, and you're saying, I'm going to take these things that I feel is right, but I'm going to actually walk the talk. I'm not just going to talk about it. I'm going to be about it, and I'm going to show them how to do it in my living. I'm going to show them how to do it. I think, you would just inspire more brothers. So, like, this type of conversation, I feel on this level is important. Your broadcast tonight, I feel, is important because I think it inspires the change makers. Okay. It inspires the inspirers. Because if you're a brother on a panel and you have mechanic skills, and you saying, yeah, y'all niggas ain't doing nothing but arguing with women, and y'all ain't shit, y'all wimps, and y'all simps, and y'all this, and y'all that. But you ain't show nobody how to fix nothing on a car. You should shut your ass up.
Damn.
You're wasting time. You're putting things into the atmosphere that's just opinion based that go nowhere. It actually just causes division. It actually causes the uninspired to not want to be inspired because, well, that's just words. You think the uninspired don't know they're uninspired? You think the wayward don't know that they're wayward? You don't think that they have some conversations with God wanting to be better but having no direction to get better? We have such a hardcore look upon our people. But that's not necessarily the case. A lot of our people we don't even feel like we can trust other people to teach us because we don't want them to have stuff to lord over us. We do things backwards a lot of times. Nice. So it's even hard to trust people to uplift you because they may try to lift you up and bring you down at the same time or take all the credit for your upliftment. When I'm around sisters and they start gardening, right, I've never looked at a sister and been like, oh, you only garden because of me. That had to be in you to even be attracted to that.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm thankful. My silent gratitude is to the divine in me for utilizing me to give a sister something progressive to do versus, as you said, smoking or drinking. Do brothers and do sisters need to do cleanses? Well, I have a program that I believe in putting an herbalist and a healer in every home. Okay. That's my goal. Okay. To teach sisters and their children how to heal.
Yeah, without yeah.
To how to clean out the system, how you're afraid of disease because white people told you to be afraid of disease. Without them telling you that, you wouldn't even know to be afraid of a disease,
And can I say something, Leonard, before you continue? Because you mentioned about every herbalist or naturopath in the household, particularly women or men, depending who learns this craft in the household, and the importance. If you notice, to a lot of women and men, when they talk about even the sexual activities, right? And I told them about, your behavior in the bedroom causes these ailments besides the diet. But let's say you have this illness. There are steps and precautions you could take to cleanse that out. And instead of going by their so-called white coats telling you there's no cure. And I've been hearing this too many times by ignorance and stupidness that, okay, so you tell me we've been on this earth for almost millions of years. And all of a sudden, these little small little diseases that you have to go to the same institutions that have not cured a common cold tell you there's no cure. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And that's funny too, because I was just talking to my daughter is like, she's really getting into herbs and stuff now, right? And so we were making some elderberry syrup today because she had a little cold. And so we was trying to, catch it before it went there. And we were just talking about watching how God moves amongst Black people and how the importance of Dr. Sebi. Now, people that know me know I'm a mixed bag of emotions about Dr. Sebi. But what I do appreciate about him is that he used his free will to make our people aware of an alternative method besides the doctor.
Yeah. So I give him credit.
I even see. I'm not a fan of Nipsey Hussle. I don't think Nipsey Hussle is a comparison to Tupac, and I understand every generation needs their their idols, their whatever, and so I don't begrudge people their fascination, they love, they whatever of that man. But what I do appreciate is that what I may not connect with about his living, that in his death you had more children, teenage children, talking about Dr. Sebi, and thereby talking about healing themselves and disconnecting from mind control, from medical mind control.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they don't even know that. They just know that, man, you can't cure cancer, man. Man, you can't cure diabetes. You can't, man. I ain't going out like that. I'm gonna go get me some herbs. Like, to have that happen amongst our youth just because you had a man that was like, I'm gonna make some money up off these niggas with these herbs. Yeah. And then you had another dude that was rapping and whatever, and that got, kind of attracted to that message. Maybe he had an illness, that he, went to Dr. Sebi's herbs for. But that spread out amongst our youth, that you won't have, like, the medical field has literally killed a lot of our grandmothers, uncles, cousins, aunties, whatever, with their medicines and their treatments, and we did have a way of healing. Yep. And we do have a way of healing now, but if you stay under that medical mind control, you won't know what it is. You'll think your healing will be in connection with fear, and you can't heal with fear.
Nope. Matter of fear it cannot exist in your subconscious and in your physicality to sustain itself. See, people don't understand fear is the most deadliest disease of all time. Just like that Byron Allen said that when they asked him what he was doing, is he fear that he's going to feel the same grunt scrutiny and all that like all the other brothers, and they say no, because I've come to realize in my life that I cannot fear nothing. I'm saying if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die standing up. I ain't gonna die on my knees, cause that is a submissive role when you get on your knees. A lot of people understand when you get on your knees, you take a submissive role.
Yeah, that hands up, don't shoot is a submissive role. Yeah. That's a submissive role too. But yeah, for brothers, for all of us, but for brothers in particular, I know a lot of brothers that are in their mid-30s and they jacked. They need a cleanse so bad. Like, they need a cleanse bad. But most sisters don't know how to do that. And I think it's imperative that we give brothers that information. And that we give sisters that information, and that we teach children that information of how to cleanse, because that's empowering. So, but I want to just get to brothers, things that as a woman, as a sister, as a mother, I would say to young brothers, I would say focus on having respect in your home, and not through might equals right. But that you're able to actually progress the family. Men get hung up on the word lead, right? Yeah. But instead of the word progress. So focus on being able to do that task. If we could teach brothers to put as much emphasis on family as they do on their car, to take as much ownership and stock into the home as they do into their car, then we're talking. But we'll show me. We're followers, but we're also from the show me state. And so you have to show Black people how you do it to inspire them. If you on my Copper House page, which is my page where I teach people how to make herbs, how to formulate herbs.
You might have to invite me in that group. I don't think I was in that.
Definitely. Okay. Definitely. On that page, right? I got more brothers than I got sisters that come to me, but I know why. Because as a woman, when we're in the house with a man and you find out that men don't know how to do certain things, you don't even know how to come at that man appropriately. Yeah. You don't know how not to shame him. You just want to get out. You don't know how to do that. You know,
it's kind of in the tone how you go about it. It's like
right.
And you know it's funny because obviously you hear a lot of dudes complain about they don't want a woman to take a certain tone that's indicative towards them, because usually men take a certain tone, but to find women in that is like it's like a constant struggle, like a fighting, like it's like fighting was
yeah. And I know sisters that's like, why I gotta talk nice to him? The same reason why you gotta talk nice to your landlord. The same reason why you gotta talk nice to your boss. The same fucking reason, just out of respect. Just because that's your family member. Once y'all sharing a home, y'all family.
Yeah.
And that's why. So it's it's not that you have to baby him, it's that you have to respect him because you demand respect. I wouldn't. First of all, I couldn't respect the man that allowed me to talk to him any kind of way. And I got a mouth. I'm free. I'm an Aquarius. I was born on National Freedom Day. I'm totally free. I don't have any hangups about being free, but I know what respect is. And so, sisters, we don't come equipped with knowing how to be savvy enough to inspire a man to manhood. We don't know how to say, these are the things that I need as a woman from you in a way that affects that change. And so brothers have to learn how to grab their nuts and say, this is what a man is in my opinion. And it's not just about my mind and, and my muscles and I'm bigger than you. It is about, this is what I bring to the table. This is what not to the table. This is what I bring to the home.
Yep.
And we got to take responsibility. Us, like for me personally, we have to take responsibility when we're older people with children that are in their 20s or 30s or whatever. Because if you didn't teach your sons how to use tools or buy the tools and allow them to work the tools, if you didn't say, hey, that latch over there is broke, or hey, this is how you cut off the power to the fuse box to be able to change that light out and follow those directions. If you put it wrong, try it again. If we didn't do that, we are the ones that the black woman is complaining about, not the man.
Wow, didn't think of that.
We're the ones that they're mad at your parents, and in particular your mother, because everybody concedes that your mother is your first trainer, right?
Yep.
Your first educator. She's supposed to pass you off after a certain age, but what she passes off is a reflection of her. Now, men know this. Most men, once they get into a good argument with women, realize that these women are pretty much smarter than them. Because women can argue you in a way that you like, yeah, that do make sense. And so you end up having to say something stupid, or something swinging knock your ass out because you said something that made so much sense and they can't do nothing with it, right?
Yeah, man. That mouth, it's that mouth, man. And it could get you in trouble, or it could either build somebody up. It's one or the other.
Yeah, it could do either one. And sometimes you're attempting to build them up. And you do say it right, but the shame of the man of not knowing how to do that thing or how to accomplish that thing, and now feeling like, well, I can't come to her and ask her. Men do have pride.
Yep.
Men, yeah, it is fuck niggas out here. Yes, it's some irredeemable fuck niggas out here. But the discerning eye recognizes that it's some women that got a savior complex, and they deal specifically with fuck niggas to try to save them. Even though it's a losing battle,
Yeah.
But they'll deal with them just to try to save them. And the way that they try to save them is, nigga, you need to get up off your ass and do this, and blah, blah, blah. Because that's the language that he understands, whether he accepts it or not.
He understands force.
And then it's got some brothers that, you can't do that. You can't do that. And
you can't force a man. Can't go by force.
That's why I said that it's more important for other brothers that are actually accomplished at things It don't matter what. It doesn't matter what. If you are on these platforms and you are a mechanic, if you've been to the military, you are whatever you're accomplished at. You should be utilizing. You should be doing exactly what white people do. See, we want to do what white people do and get some land, get a house, get a pickup truck, and yada yada yada. And now we like the white man. We got a bank account, we got some land, we got some stocks. We got our money in this and that, and so now we like the white man. But what the white man do is use all your shit against you. That's his primary function that he do is just take your shit. What's the white man's favorite color? Nobody knows. Yeah. What's his favorite dance? Nobody knows because he used all your shit.
Ooh, I never figured that. Never thought of that.
So it's like, but we don't want to do that. We don't want to tell our sons, okay, this is what you do. You look at how the world is running, and then you put your blackness on it. And the purpose is uplifting yourself. See, if you have a wayward child and you don't try to fix that, and they mix with another wayward child, what I call two inferiors. I know that's strong language, but what I call two inferiors mixing, then you just got inferior bloodline. It should be every man, and the evolution is a long process, and I know a lot of black women don't see this, but some black men mating and making mixed babies is part of evolution. These niggas don't know how to care for their own image. So in order to learn how to be a loving, progressive father, they have to have something out of their image that they adore. But they are learning how to be loving fathers.
Yep.
And they are inspiring other men that see it. Then you got a great many black men who have sons and have daughters, and they're the best fathers that they know how to be. They don't even know who granddaddy is. So they don't have those role models. So they have to look at other men and how they're doing with their children. And you're supposed to get a bank account for your children. You're supposed to have insurance for your children. That's not something they really thought about before. Their mother didn't have it for them. Yep. So their father they didn't know their father. Or if they did, their father was 9 to 5 and, check to check, with them. So they don't even know how to do it. A lot of these men come on these platforms talking big shit because they don't know shit. Exactly. They really there to learn, but their ego make them want to be heard as well. So then they get on there talking real stupid, sounding stupid, thinking that they making sense, and they're not. And then we argue with them, right? We argue with them. Where if the discussion was how to invest in stocks, then what are you coming on there giving me your fucking personal opinion about black women and relationships? We're not even fucking talking about that. That's your personal business. But the conversation is often about bullshit. Yeah. And so they come at you with random bullshit. I think it's a lot of platforms that I can look at each individual platform and be like, oh, that's necessary. That aspect of it is necessary. But we all veer off, We all get off track.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us.
I see too many platforms where you don't know what these people do in a day. All you know is that they come on there at night and talk shit about you. They talk shit about some imaginary black people that ain't shit and need to progress, and they feel the need to come and tell you how to fucking progress without showing you shit, which is no different than the church, the Democratic Party, the Republican. Is no different than the white teachers that ain't teaching you shit. Is no different than them.
I agree.
They tell you a bunch of shit, but don't show you anything that progresses you. So black men have to organize first and foremost for black men's benefit.
Exactly. And this is one thing that my good friend, Mr. Charles Cerulean, and I've been harping for the last year and a half now.
Mhm.
That see, if you want to correct the problem with black men, you have to organize.
And I'll tell you
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I'm impressed with by them is that if you don't have 100 members to organize with, at first you start with what you got. You start with 2.
Mm-hmm.
You start with 2, and then they got creative and said, okay, everybody get their shields, and and you join in, and
Mm-hmm.
now we are an organization. Some things, again, I read through it, and
Mm-hmm.
some things I believe that policy comes after the establishment of home.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's imperative that those brothers show. Now, I haven't looked to see if they got an Instagram page, so I don't know that they're not doing it. I'm not speaking specifically of them,
Okay.
but I'm speaking of those type of brothers. It's imperative that they come with that. This is what you should do because this is how I do.
Okay.
And we normally only get the first part, the finger point. This is what you should do, and this is what you niggas don't do. Now, this is how you should do what you should do.
Yeah.
And a lot of brothers are just sorely undereducated in the art of living.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of brothers don't know what a high urge is, what the difference between an idea and an ideal is.
Mm. Okay.
They don't know what their lures are or how to evolve them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not until you see men in action that you learn to respect men. A lot of women do not respect black men because they've never seen one up close.
I agree. Yeah. We got too much of them, like the ones I was saying earlier tonight. The few that this applies to, they are a good portion of these type of males than the ones that's actually the men that you see is about doing something, being about something,
Mm-hmm.
And at much times when Charles, when he goes and said that they're selecting choices. I mean, I question too. I mean, but like I said, if you have not seen a man, what you gonna do? That's why a lot of women will fight a lot of brothers that tell it when they use the word choose better. Cause they say, how? What is that? What that look like? What that feel like? I did this and it still got burned. And I say, well, in regards to men and women, we're different. I understand it because usually a man goes through the same plight issue and let's say he expresses the same frustrations. Obviously the answer to that is the man would like anybody who attempts to choose better. So it's like when we put the same 2 fingers on the women, it's a problem. And I said, well, you can't have it both ways, because
but then here is wisdom, right?
Yep.
You don't tell a woman to choose better. You tell a woman to have patience.
Okay, I like that. That's better.
You know what I'm saying? You tell her, you don't tell your daughter, look, that's not the natural way that a father teaches their daughter. They don't say, you choose good. They say, don't give it up to that boy then. You make him wait. You make sure he
patience.
You have patience.
I like that. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that more often. I like that.
Yeah, if you say to a woman have patience, that affects their psyche more than them having to hear what they perceive as some blame or something that they've done wrong. But this is where tact prevails with your fellows. When you go the second mile of love and service with your people, you think about what the fuck you say.
I agree.
Sometimes you do have to put stuff out there, you know what I'm saying, raw and uncut. And sometimes you have to have tact with what you say if you're trying to move an object from one place to another, let alone a people from one place to another. My brothers need to focus on themselves. They really need to focus on their damn self. The ones that ain't taking care of their children, they definitely got time to focus on themselves.
No, they will make the time. It's not that they got time; they will make time. And like I said before, let me step in for him. To most brothers must hear this. When you hear any person, especially a male, come say, I don't got time or this. And I hear some women too. I tell people this. When you want to accomplish do something, you make the time. Do not give me the excuse. I don't want to hear this word. And certain words should be, and I should probably do a stream and the words that black people need to stop using. I'm gonna say what you should not or you're not going to do. You make the time. You make the will. You make the effort.
Yeah.
Because not you say you're so sure. when you tell me what you're holding yourself back or what you cannot attain, what you cannot do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, a lot of, and we are unhealthy people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our brothers' adrenals are bogged down, and they got brain fog. They ass can't even really sit down and get it together. Again, this is why the organization of brothers to inspire other brothers is imperative.
Mm-hmm.
It's imperative that if you have a platform where you telling Black people what the hell they should do, you should have another platform where you showing them what they should do or how they should do it. That's imperative. You cannot say to young men who have seen white men get up and accomplish what they will, this how you do it, but you ain't show them how to accomplish it. They only gonna go that way that they've been shown. They're gonna go the way the celebrities show them how to sell drugs, how to make, how to entertain, or they're gonna do what the white man do: rob, steal, kill, and destroy.
Mm-hmm.
But their options towards success, their idea of success is limited because where are the men that do it right?
Mm-hmm.
Most times our brothers that are into their families, they might listen to this kind of stuff. They might listen to the conscious community. They might listen to, the different religions, but they don't say anything because they busy. They're busy living their life. They're busy being the inspiration in their family. Mm-hmm. And I do think that that's necessary too. I think if Martin Luther King had to shut the fuck up and trained all his children, then you'd have 5, 6 Martin Luther Kings to deal with versus being able to take out one.
Mm-hmm.
If Malcolm X had did that, then you would have a family full of Malcolm X's versus them being able to take out one in a potential. So,
well, he had a grandson, and they eventually took him out. He was
right. That's the one I call the potential.
Yeah, and mind you, he had daughters, so the daughters had like a bunch of boys. They probably had some kids, but mostly it was girls. Cause how else is only one boy that had that potential, that possible potential?
But see, that's because somewhere along the way, their purpose got contorted into religion, and not into bloodline. Because there's no way you have one male descendant of Malcolm X and everybody don't realize the importance of that. It's no way that he should have even been able to go astray. As my grandmother said, he shouldn't have been able to bip a bop. Not being the only male descendant of Malcolm fucking X. Mm-hmm. But when you don't have any purpose, when he had to be allowed to come to his own understanding of, I'm Malcolm X's grandson. Wait, let me do something about that. Where when the Rothschilds send their children out, they ain't allowed to be what the fuck they want to be. You're going to go run this central bank, and that's what the hell you're going to do.
And that's what they did. Yeah.
That's what it is, right. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you that as parents, we got a lot of children that's fucking fashion designers and all kind of shit like that. I guess that's important to some degree. Mm-hmm. But I don't agree with letting your child be what the hell they want to be, not in the condition that we're in.
Yeah, I agree too. And much times they don't want to hear it, but I say if we have enough that's doing what was needed for it to stay in our little nation, make it grow, flourish, you're going to have to sacrifice and do things that you're uncomfortable.
When I speak with African women, right, mm-hmm. I don't find a lot of African sisters to be very talkative, unless you are talking about your child's education, and then they'll build with you, right? Yeah. I don't find very many older African sisters that allow their children to choose what they want to be, unless the choice was between 1 to 3 choices. Mm. As American parents, we've fallen into the trap of being white, being like the Joneses and
that make believe shit,
not the Black Joneses. You know what I'm saying?
And really, if you think about the Jones, even like the what they call it, the Cosby Show, most of those people are very well, except one, seek not only educate but be in certain industries. Like one's a doctor, one's a lawyer. Yeah. I forgot what the other kids were doing, but it's like they push them into these areas that are important. And another thing that we don't talk enough as people is that if we're not doing these or attaining this, then you got to push yourself into the other major industry institutions like military, police, fire department, or trades. One or the other. It has to be in a major institution. Majority of our children, and the parents blame for this, both in their life or one parent raising them, that you push your children to be mediocre by default. So what if they're being mediocre? That means they're going to pursue things that's not really constructive or uplifting to the race as collective. To be an entertainer, and or most people that you look at, that's their vision and their dream on the average, that you are one out of thousands gonna, let's say, attain that. And if you do attain it, it's still controlled by somebody else that you don't control. So you're not really attaining nothing going that direction. Because it's like another job, a high paying job, which is temporary. And depending what you do with that money you make is also temporary. Because either gonna take it away from the taxes or your choices in life. Especially you married into other nations that, they know the money's gonna go right back to them on the average. You know what I'm saying? And people don't see that. That's why we look at a lot of black males when they make the money and they feel they have to have a non-black woman to show sign of success. That's cool if you think it's cool, but you got to always say, what is the outcome of my future, my legacy I leave forth? Because the enemy knows and design everything and set it up in a fashion where he always wins and you lose. Because it seeks for his benefit. If it was not for his benefit, what he does, he tries to create propaganda to push you out or condition you to stay away from certain institutions. This is how the game works, because this world operates under power. And the ones that wants main power, they go do everything possible to keep control. That's how the game works. And if you're not a person that's seen the forest, or that saying, the trees and forests, then I don't know what to say. I don't know what answer to give you. The solutions that I could give to you is irrelevant to you because you're not seeing the bigger picture. Even the ones that I think really said the best about the a lot of these so-called black conservatives talk about the conservatives and their this and that, and so you don't even know what that is. I mean, really, if he break it down wonderfully in his own uploads, what it is, and these dudes that talk about their this and that, you are very much deafer and dumber and seriously blind. Because to go ahead. Yeah, Democrat, or where political you take, it's still under the servitude of your greater.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, because remember, if it doesn't suit his need and power and survival, you call yourself this is irrelevant.
Right.
Matter of fact, he'll let you have it. He'll say you can have that as long as it facilitates his control. Anytime you say you don't want to play these games, good games, the opposite is threatening to him because his natural survival depends on it. His natural survival depends on you being completely dunce, dumb, and not doing nothing at all. He likes when these no good Negroes, and you know what I'm talking about, boys, that sit there bitch and complain about the system and not taking no progressive actions to do nothing about. I tell people many times, your complaint is irrelevant in your situation now. We're living right now. Because matter of fact, he wants to hear and he loves it when you complain. How he loves so much? Because when he does these things to you, what's the first thing black people turn to? Social media. You hear their complaints. They're bitching. They're moaning. Oh, me, why you do this? All this stuff. Do you know that's a wet dream for him?
Yeah.
It's like something that he gets off. Is a turn on. Even
people complain because they don't know what the hell to do. So they just complain and act like they're going to do something. Complaining is doing something. It's just not doing anything that evolves you. So a lot of our people, actually, I know some sisters that jump into, they want that type of situation. I wish somebody would say something racist to me. One of the things I don't like that one of the things I don't like that my people do is make a big deal out of white people calling them a nigger. Because you have to understand that we are utilized to move everything forward. Whatever devious goal they got, they need the world to see us either fall to it or rise to it. Mm-hmm. Right? They needed more black men to be outwardly homosexual to pass the homosexual rights bill, right?
Yeah. I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They needed more black people to become disenchanted with church to start openly dissing church like that, you know? And they need black people to be outraged with certain words to start taking away your rights to freedom of speech. Mm-hmm. And so I always say to my people, like, you got to stop going to other people complaining about the word nigga and do what you would do if a nigga called you nigga and knock their ass out and call it a damn day. Because if you can't say the word nigga, what other words can't you say? Can you not say white supremacist? Then can you not say thief? What words can't you fucking say if you can't say nigga? Mm-hmm. This is part of being an American, having the fucking balls to be free and allow people to be free around you. If you're not, if that's not your purpose, if you're not shooting for that, then you're going to stay in the realm of complaining because it's all kind of shit to complain about. Yeah. Freedom is a responsibility. And until we start teaching our people, our sons, our daughters, that it's not a right that's automatically given to you. Exactly. No, you don't automatically have God-given freedom. Only God respects your free will. Only God will let you swallow a box of nails if that's how you want to go out. Everybody else going to arrest your ass, beat your ass, talk about your ass, diss your ass, whatever. Mm-hmm. They're going to have some response to your freedom and your free will. Mm-hmm. So you have to learn how to master your free will for your progression. Until we teach our children that that's a responsibility and a purpose, then, we're just talking about it after the fact. And that's just that. Until brothers come together with a movement that's basic, that teaches boys and males how to be men, we ain't going nowhere. I agree. Women can raise good children that turn up to be good men, right? Yeah. And good women. Men inspire other men to be men. Exactly. And right now, our brothers' inspirations are niggas. Because men don't really stand up to teach other brothers stuff. They stand up and talk to men, to other brothers the same way women talk to them. Mm-hmm. You niggas ain't on shit. You blah, 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 blah. Men need their own. I see a lot of these broadcasts that are open to women that should not be. They should be open to women sometimes, but the same way everybody outraged that girls can now be in the Boy Scouts and boys can be in the Girl Scouts, that's because we all know that each person, each gender needs their own space. And exactly. A lot of the conversations, I feel that even Brother Cerulean and Brother Charles, I feel like a lot of those should be just for those brothers. Because the mystery of those males becoming men is enticing to women. What the hell they over there learning to do? Is they sharing secrets about their last relationship and what the fuck we was doing and blah blah blah? Yeah, always talking about the mystery of them becoming men is alluring and enticing, and brothers need their own space to not front. A lot of times other brothers call in talking that chicken George shit because they know other women are listening. And it's just them, strutting their little cockatoo feathers and shit in front of everybody. They know they're not saying anything that make any sense. But they're seen, they're heard, they're getting attention. So, so they do it. It's a way to accomplish something even if you accomplish nothing. Brothers need their own space. Brothers need to talk in simple, niggeries or whatever the fuck you want to call it, to other brothers about how to be a man. It's not you got to do, you the leader, she must submit. Man, brothers, if I could say anything, and this is what I tell my sons, you never, ever, ever want a woman that submit. You want a woman that cooperate. Mm-hmm. You don't ever want a bitch that submit, because guess what? When she mad and she submit, she turning your children against you.
Oh.
See, there's not a person that submits that's happy all the time. So if she's accustomed to submitting and she's not going to step outside the bounds of submitting, when she's unhappy, who is she going to tell that she's unhappy? She's going to tell your fucking children she's unhappy.
Wow.
And this is how you get wayward children. This is how you get daughters that's like, I'm not letting no man talk to me any kind of way. I'm not submitting. I come in when I get ready to come in. Because they mother done taught them, I'm fucking miserable. Don't let nobody do you like this. Mm-hmm. He get on my nerves. Mm-hmm. The son sees the mother suffering, but she's helpless, and he loses empathy for women. No, that's what you do. You stay there. You must want to stay there. I don't got no respect for you, and I don't got no respect for this bitch if she take my shit either. Mm-hmm. You don't want a woman that submit, brothers. That's not what you want. And I can prove it because y'all say our grandmothers submitted, and look where we at.
Oh, and I guess we could leave it on that note. Thank you, Oasis King, for coming up again.
I appreciate
supporting always the channel and always, and I did subscribe to your channel, so when we're ready, I know when the first video or wherever it comes up. If anybody, when you go back to the replay of this stream, support and subscribe to Oasis King. I tell you, she's gonna bring some things, whether you agree or not. You know what I'm saying? It's perspective that's needed, and it's gonna be real and raw, uncut. You feel me? Like always, to those who's listened to tonight's stream, leave a comment. If you haven't liked the video, please like the video. And like I said, anybody subscribe or first time subscriber, 3 bells. Options, the option you pick depending on how often and how constant when I go live and I upload. But other than that, let the chaos reign.